Okay, okay, we live. What's up, everybody that's listening? Today I have a special guest. I met this young lady back in 2014. We were studying in Cape Town, and people were telling me she has an amazing voice. She has an amazing voice. I was like, nah, she down this regular voice. But I was wrong. Nowadays, she's been creating some waves out here in MPT, also in CPT, and it's crazy, man. She's starting her career and is amazing to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Táyra Augusto. What's up, Táyra?
Hello, thank you for for inviting me to be in this podcast. Really excited of what this will
Hi,
be.
you're welcome. You're welcome. I think that was the best intro I've ever done in my life because you really is like I watch. I don't have Twitter, so I'm not fully aware of 100% of the people's reaction to your music. But even just on Instagram and shit, I can see that people really focus your shit, man. How'd you feel about that?
I think that's good. Makes it at least it tells me that what I'm doing makes sense and people are enjoying it and liking it. Then you're doing things
Yeah,
and people are not giving you any feedback at all.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
know.
it's a slow progress, but it's progress for me.
That's what's up. Did you ever expect to have this impact on people and with your music and shit? Did you ever expect it?
Um, Honestly, at first, no, because I was just like in a vibe, like I just want to do music. I want to do this because I love this. I didn't really care who fucks with it. I don't know if I can curse or not, but like, yeah, I
You
didn't.
can do whatever you want.
Okay. I was like, I don't really care who fucks with it or not. But now I see that I'm actually building kind of an audience, so they do expect Tyra when I do songs, when I do features. They have a certain expectation of like what will come. So I
Yeah,
always try, okay, I cannot disappoint. This has to be better of the latest song that I released or something like, yeah. It's becoming like pressure because a lot of people are like have eyes on you now and are like seeing what
yeah.
you do, what you don't do. So it's yeah. I'm still trying to get the gist of it.
Okay. You said something interesting. Do you feel like you feel limited because, like as you said, now people have a certain expectation. Oh, it's a direct song. I expect this kind of melodies, this type of topics. Do you feel like people are like you don't feel as much freedom as you did before because of that, or not even?
Mm, I don't think I do. It's just more people are more aware that I exist. But in terms of like the things that I do, I'm still going to sing on beats that people don't expect me to sing on because I just like the beat and that's just how I am. I don't really I never had like a defined plan. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. I take opportunities like if when I do music, it's mostly like people presenting me beats, and I'm like, okay, I really like this one. I really like this one. I think I can work on this one, and this how things come about. And funny enough, makes sense. Like on the lineage of the things that I've been doing, makes sense. I haven't done something crazy that people gonna be like, what is this? Yet, I think.
Okay, okay. That's nice, man. That's nice. You build. How long have you been doing music for?
I've been doing music since 2012. But I would
It
say
doesn't.
definitely since 2015. But since 2012, people knew that I sang because I used to participate in kitabu school stuff, singing stuff, and I used to
Yeah,
hang a lot with CZ. So like people already associated
yeah.
with music and stuff like that.
So for all the kids out there trying to talk about it's taking too long, this woman started in 2012. It's been 8 years, my guys. You know, trying to talk about, and this is for me too. I'm trying to stress too much about my things. You've been doing this shit for 8 years, bro. This is a long road. This is a long road. What are the like? Did you ever feel during those 8 years like giving up? Did you ever feel doubts? Did you ever feel like yo maybe I'm just dreaming too much and this is not gonna happen? Did you ever feel that during those 8 years?
I feel it every single day, every single second because it's not it's not something that is certain. It's not like I'm going to study a degree. It's 4 years and then I'm gonna do a master's on this degree and then I'm gonna try to find a job. Music it's really uncertain. Either you have it or you don't. It's either you
Yeah,
grab the certain opportunities, you meet the certain people, and you go on a path of like, I'm not giving up. And I feel like that's what I've been doing so far because it's 8 years. But the how I would say when I started from where I am now, yeah, it took a long time. And I know that it's gonna take an even longer time for me to get where I want to be, coming from Mozambique, trying to go into a market that it's very competitive. But I have that spirit, like just don't give up, just keep trying out, like use all use everything you got and just see what will
yeah,
happen. I have nothing to lose for trying. So that's what I tell everyone. It's like you literally have nothing to lose for trying. So
that's what's
I don't know. Like I'm still logical of like, cause people do ask me like, Tyra, but you do music, but what did you actually do? Like how you will survive and stuff. I'm like, I have always plans. Like I always plan myself. I'm not the type of person that, oh, I'm gonna do this and this is it. And if I don't make it, then I don't know what I will do with my life. I always plan like, okay, I want to do music. I really want to pursue my music. I really want to pursue my modeling, but like I was telling you before, bills have to be paid. I need to work. I need to save money. I need to have money to pay for studio time. I need to have money to pay for marketing. I need to have money to put myself out there. So that money won't come up from anywhere. So I need to like work my ass off and make things happen. I need to do whatever it takes for me to support this dream so I can be where I want to be. So that's my mentality so far.
all right. I think, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough. We can end the podcast here. Enough wisdom was thrown already. But that's what's up. I love that, man. That's what's up. You know what? I'm the exact opposite. I need to learn that. I need to learn that. I'm the stubborn type. I'm the rebel type. I'm like, no, all I'm gonna do in my life is just do this shit that I want to do. I'm not gonna do anything else. I don't give a fuck about where the money's gonna go. I just is quite dumb at points. And but yeah, I'm just the stubborn. I'm just the stubborn type. Did you always have this mentality that like, yo, I still gotta be able to create this financial stability for myself and build a life on the side while I'm also pursuing my dreams? Or is it something that you developed with time as you learn about how the industry moves, of how so many obstacles are still going to come and etc.? Or from the get go, you already had that in your mind?
I think it was um embedded in me from my parents because my dad
Yeah.
always used to tell me if you want something, you have to go and get it. And my mom was on the side of like, even if you want this, you need to be very logical about the possibilities. It's not you being a pessimist, it's you being a realist and be like, okay, I want to do this. How can I achieve this? What do I need to do to achieve this? If it requires money, if
Yeah.
it requires time, if I need to meet certain people, how will I do this? So it's always like I always felt out of place academically, I would say, because saying again, I never knew what I wanted to study. I just went with the flow of the things that I'm like and I'm good at. But I always knew I wanted to do music. And now modeling, since it's working for me, it's working really well. So my mom was like, okay, you're young, you have a lot of energy. So okay, go for it. Try it out, but don't leave out your options because you need to have something to fall back on. And at first, I would take it. I was in a very rebellious mode, like, oh, so you're telling me that my dreams won't come true if you're telling me that I have to plan on something to fall back on and all that stuff. And she was like, no, I'm not telling you that it won't work, but this world is a very cruel world and you need to have a backup plan always. There's nothing wrong in having a backup plan. It's not underestimating what you can achieve. It's just so if it doesn't happen, at least okay, I have this thing, I have this other degree that I got, and I can try and work or find it out until I get my feet back on and try to still pursue on that dream because I it's hard for me to quit. So even if it doesn't work the first time, I'm gonna make it work the second time, the third time. I think by the fourth it's gonna be like, okay, Tara, I think this is enough. This is not for you. Find something else. But it's hard for me to quit on something. So I think my mom always told me you can do whatever you want to do, but always have a backup plan on anything in your life, literally.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Speaking of your mom,
Hmm.
um, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Every time I go on your Instagram and I watch your stories, at least At least once a week, your mom is there in some shape or form, and it's really beautiful to watch your relationship with her. Uh, how much has she influenced you into becoming the woman that you have become and you'll continue to become? How much of that influence that she had on you?
It was it was a lot because me and my mom growing up, we didn't like each other. Okay, my mom always loved me, but it was always a fight in her to and
Really?
yes, like we weren't the best of friends. I was more of a daddy's girl, but then my parents got separated. I still live with my mom, and it was not easy that time of me being an adolescent, like 14 till I was 18. I didn't want to listen to her. I used to reply back to her. We just didn't have a good relationship at all. But
I
then
would not guess that. That's crazy.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, but we didn't. But that stems from a lot of like her upbringing coming from Pemba, and things were very strict on that side. Things are very narrow-minded, and like she
Yeah.
was actually one of the few in her family to decide like, no, I'm not gonna stay here in Pemba and have this simple life and marry a guy and not be happy. I want to continue pursuing my studies and go to Maputo. I think I get the drive from her. From her, like, no, I'm gonna do this. I want this. I'm gonna leave the city. I'm gonna find better opportunities for me. I think I get the drive from her. So,
Mhm.
but she still has like those, old kota mentality that
Yeah, yeah,
you're like, oh my god, how can I explain to this lady this is what I want to do? This is what I want to pursue, and she's very
yeah.
stubborn. So me not being good in expressing myself, and I have this problem even with friends and other relationships, like even if I have good points and I want to express them, I don't know how to put it in words that will make the person
Yeah.
understand. In my mind makes sense, but I can't express myself even if I'm right and I end up being wrong. I really hate, and I'm trying to get better at that. So with my mom,
Mhm.
she's very like facts on facts on facts, and if you cannot fight back, then you
Mhm.
lost. Don't even try. But after going to Cape Town and meeting, like being away from her, I would say that missing someone, my mom was like, oh, I miss you so much. We actually started talking more about stuff, just like to spend time together on the phone, and like coming home, like we got to chat and like actually resolve the problems that we had when I was growing up, and like how sometimes she would approach and talk to me, how sometimes I would reply back, and what it actually stemmed from. So we actually worked it out. So now, me being an adult, I would say I am more comfortable in talking to her and telling her like she's my mom, but also as a friend, like this is what's happening in my mind. I don't know what to do. Than me just trying to, oh my gosh, I'm an adult. I have to do this by myself. No one can help me. I asked my mom like, this is what's going on in my mind. I don't know what can I do. How? And she tries in the best of her ability to like give me advice. So I feel like that's how like we became so close, and we are close.
That's dope. That's so. I would have never guessed in 100,000 years that your relationship with your mom was not always as great. I would have never guessed that. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I think a lot of people can relate during our teenage years. We're like, nah, bro, we ain't fucking with that. But then as we grow, we end up getting closer to our parents. But that's crazy. I'm still thinking about it. I still can't believe that shit. That's
No, but
dope. You know,
quite
but
difficult
yeah,
because
yeah,
sometimes you get parents that don't really give you that space for you to be open and talk about things,
yeah,
because I guess that even them growing up, their parents didn't give them that space from them to talk openly about things, about everything, because honestly
yeah,
we're just babies. We don't know anything, we're just winging it and making sure it sticks. So like I feel like it's something that parents should be open to, like let your child or adolescent be open to tell you and ask you and talk about anything, their doubts, their insecurities, their fears, and not be something like, no, you are a grown up, you need to know how to deal this on your own. That's not the right mentality, honestly.
yeah, yeah. As you were talking, I was thinking, you know what? I think our generation will have the most problems raising kids. Let me tell you why. I
Why?
think our generation will have the most problems because we are very open minded. and we're like, no, our kids want to be close to them, give them freedom. I'm not going to make the same quote unquote mistakes that my parents made. I'm going to be different and all that. And we
Mhm.
have that in our mind. But when the kids come, like our instinct will be to raise them as our parents raised us. It's just instinct. Like we learn from our parents how to treat kids, and our instinct is going to be to do that. But at the same time, in our heart, we're going to be like, no, let me not do that. And that fight, I think, we're going to have a hard time balancing that shit. I really think so. What do you think?
I think I think you have a point. I think we're gonna. It's an instinct of us of doing like how your parents did, but being a little bit more open minded. And now even when you say that, it's like, for example, I grew up through spanking, you know, and people,
Yeah, me too.
some people are against it. They are against, but you know what? It was through that spanking that I feel like I'm a certain decent human being. I know how to respect elders. I know what to not to say or what to do because it put me in line. I'm not, and people asking me, "Oh, so would you spank your kids?" I'm like, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna take a belt and beat the shit out of them. I'm not gonna do that. That's abuse.
Yeah,
But like, I'm gonna let them know with some assertiveness that like, hey, stop doing that. Put the stove, don't open the stove or something like that. Because that's just how I was raised, and that's just how I knew I need to behave well. I have a lot of friends that they didn't get any spanking, and they're very rude. Literally, and you're like, yo, how can you speak like that to your parents? How can you do stuff like that? Don't you know? Don't you have manners? Who raised you and stuff like that? And I'm like, it was through that spanking that made me realize that I need to respect my elders. When they tell me to not do anything, I don't do it because later on I'll see what's gonna happen. But will I apply that
yeah,
to my children? My first instinct replying is yes. But I don't know after I have kids if I will actually apply the same methods. I really don't know. But my first
yeah,
would be like, yeah, because that's how I learned, so that's how they will learn. Maybe it's not maybe the best way to it, but it's debatable. I don't know. What do you
yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be tough because um, in our mind we're gonna have those learning from our parents, but at the same time in our heart we're gonna be like, no, that's what I went through, and I don't know. And we're so open-minded, the millennials nowadays, and then there's all these things about different ways to live, about it being abused or not being abused. Maybe we're gonna be causing some childhood trauma into the
Yeah,
kid by doing such and such. It's like it's tricky, it's very complex, and we're gonna have to deal with that as parents. We're gonna
well,
have
they
to
always
deal with
say
it as
this, like,
parents.
if you're gonna have kids, really think about it before having kids. That's all I have
Yeah.
to say.
I I don't even know if I want to have kids. It's too much, bro.
Yo, like,
It's like,
I don't, and this I think the same, and like I feel like I get so scrutinized for being a woman saying this that I'm really not sure if I want kids because I keep wondering how much money my parents had spent on me from baby till now that I'm an adult, but I'm still living under their roof. I'm not living on my own, and my mom still paying some of my expenses. If we add up, my mom could have like a really nice life, like middle class, high society
yeah,
type of life if I didn't exist, if my brother didn't exist. And I'm like, do I really want to have kids or do I want to
yeah, you
travel?
gotta think about it.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I like, do I really want kids or I want to travel? Think about it. Or go to Dubai. Hmm. Do I
go
want
to
to
Dubai.
buy nappies or go to the US? Like you literally start and like, what do you really want to do? So
Yeah, man.
knocking on my door, yes. Just
Alright, cool, it's cool. We'll edit it out. It's cool. It's cool.
yeah, so I really start wondering, do I really want to do these things? But again, maybe I'm saying this because I'm not where I want to be financially. So maybe
Yeah,
once I get to a certain financial stability, I will actually consider having a human being in my life
yeah.
that I have to tender for 18 years. Oh my God.
It's crazy. But yeah, I think good time because I remember back then when I was in Abbott's, I
Hmm.
was certain I was like, no, I'm not gonna have kids. Everybody would ask me like, oh yeah, I'll be like, no, I'm just not gonna have kids. I don't want to have kids. But now, how many years later? 5, 6 years later, whatever. I'm like, I might have them. I'm still not sure, but I might have them. So I'm guessing that in 6 years I'll be like, you know what? Let me think about that for real. And with time, I'm gonna be more open to it. The more I grow, the more I learn about myself, and I achieve everything I want to achieve in life. I think it's a thing of time.
It it also finding the right person like to have a baby with.
Oh, true. Very
Or
true. Very
not
true.
not in the dependent production that you're like, I'm having a baby just to continue my lineage. But if it's like, I was watching yesterday on Netflix is this reality show called Indian Matchmaking that is about this older Indian woman that she matches people according to their astrology, family, caste. Like it's a funny show. And there's this girl
Okay.
that she's literally difficult to find a match because she has so many high standards. And just like, you don't get to choose anything in your life from your family to your brothers. Honestly, the only thing that you can choose is your spouse. So I was like, wow, that's so true.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
like
deep.
you need to really know who you like settling down with, and you're gonna have kids with this person, and supposedly it's gonna be till that do us part. That's a very tough decision.
Yeah, it's a big one. As you were saying this, I was thinking. I want you to picture this scenario and tell me how you would feel. Because I don't know how I would feel even as a man, but
Okay.
even more as a woman, it might be different for you. Let's say you meet a guy, you start dating the guy, whatever. You guys stay together for 20 years, 20 years, and there is like no conversation of having a baby. Or if you bring it up, he's like, no, I don't want to have babies. You respect that, then you guys break up. She meets another woman, and within a year, they already have a baby. How the fuck would you feel about that?
Oh my gosh. You know those movies where the woman burns the house or or kills the person because I oh oh wow. Me being as an emotion, I'm very emotional. I would say I'm always in my feelings, and like if that
Yeah,
happened, I don't know, it would break my heart. It would break me mentally. I don't know what would happen to me mentally. I would go nuts because 20 years of my life that I could have, if it's something that I always wanted and he didn't give it to me, right? It's kind of
yeah,
like it's his fault, but it's also my fault because I could have left that situation and find what I
yeah,
wanted, but I chose to stay. And then we break up, and in a year he gets a baby.
yep,
I'm 20 years
exactly.
older and no baby. I would go crazy.
And
I would go
that's
inside the
crazy.
baby and make the baby mine. I'm joking, but
That's crazy part.
I
Yeah,
would feel like
definitely.
I wasted my time. Yeah. Even if in those 20 years I learned something, I grew as a person, it would feel a little bit like I wasted my time because, whoa, this is complicated. But this happens actually in societies. I know some stories of like friends,
Yeah,
they date for years and then they break up, and 6 months later, the person is married to another person. You're like, how did
yeah,
you move
that's the most
on?
common, right? They don't get married for a long time. They meet someone else, and in like 6 months, they're already married. I'm like, what? That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's crazy. I don't know how to react to that shit. That's a little too extreme, man. That would hit me some type of way emotionally, bro. That's
I
crazy.
don't think, but honestly speaking, I don't think I would have gone to 20 years because I normally know what I want. And if I don't get what I
Yeah,
want, I remove myself of the situation.
okay.
Just like I'm a type of person that in anything that I do, I already think, for example, if I have a meeting tomorrow, I literally
Yeah.
picture 1,000 scenarios of how that meeting will go in my head. So just if anything goes wrong, I'm already prepared for it. But that's just how I think,
Okay.
and I've always been like this. And I know that's not good because it makes a person very anxious because they're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what if this happened? What if that happened? What if, instead of like just go with the flow and see what happens. So it's like I knew that if let's say in 2 years of dating and I'll start thinking, oh, I want babies, and yeah, and he says no the first time, I tried the second time, still no. The third time, I'm gonna say, bro, I love you, you love me, but
Right.
this is not working. I want a baby. I'm gonna find someone that wants to have a baby with me, and it is what it is.
Mm. How much do you compromise though? In everything, not just in terms of relationships, but in general. How much do you compromise?
I feel like I compromise a lot because I don't
Okay.
I think it stems for a lot of like abandonment issues, but also feeling
Yeah.
like I want to make out I'm more of a pleaser than than a receiver, I would say.
Oh,
So I'm always
okay.
prone to like let me even if it's something that I don't like, I will try it out at least once to understand why the person likes this so much, right? That's
Okay.
how I'll always compromise once. Like, let me try it out and see what is it about for me to try and
Okay.
understand. And that's what I expect from like my future partners, to be able to like communicate and like compromise, because it literally takes two people. It's not a one-way street in any
Mm,
relationship, in any friendship. It's like I know I'm the type of person that I have friendships and they know that I'm not always the one to reach out first. I always stay in my lane. They always come to me like, hey, are you good and stuff? And I don't do that on purpose. That's just how I am. Maybe because I always come to you like with the purpose of like, hey, how are you? This is happening. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that or not? I don't really entertain small conversations. I can't. I don't
okay.
know how to do that. So I know that if I come to them, they know it's really important and why I'm coming to them. Doesn't mean that I don't love them less as friends. They just know that I'm always like on my own, which
Okay.
I'm trying to change. I'm trying to be more open. I'm trying to be more like out there and like show you that no, I'm your friend. I'm trying to be more friendly, I would say.
Okay. Okay. Um. Oh, so many questions about that. Is there anything that triggered you to want to make that change? Any specific event like you're like, oh shit, this shit happened. Okay, maybe I gotta do something about this. Or was it just gradual? Like, or maybe.
It was a bit of both because I've been some of friends called me out before of like, well, like I'm always the one saying hi, asking how are you. But this is the thing. Even the thing is, even the fact that I mostly don't reach out to the person, when they do reach out to me, I'm there with you. I'm like I'm not like dismissive or making you feel like you're talking by yourself. Like when you come and talk to me, like I'm talking to you, like hey, 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 and then the conversation is over. The conversation is over. If I don't feel like I have anything necessarily to speak to you, nothing major,
Yeah.
I'm not going to come to you to like, hey, hello, hello, how are you, how are you? Oh, your day was good, okay, bye, done, done. You see, I don't know how to do that. If I come to him, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, you don't know what just happened. This, and that. We should do this, and that. I always come with a plan and something. I just don't come out of nowhere to have small talk. But I've been trying more to like reach out to people, even if you're gonna do small talk, just to check up on them. But I know that they're fine. If they weren't, I would know. But yeah, I'm trying to get
Like,
better because I've been called upon it many times.
are you like that with all of your friends, or are you different depending on how close you are? I'm thinking because with my super close friends, I can just be like, "Yo, how you doing, bro? You good? All right, cool." But if you're not super close to me, I'm like I'm kind of the same. Like, yo, I don't have a purpose to come to you and just be like, "What's up?" So it depends on how close I am to the friend. Is it the same with you, or like whether it's close friend or not close friend, you're like, "Nah, bro, I just come with you with a mission."
No, like I think that now thinking, because honest, I don't feel like I have a lot of friends. Of the few close friends that I have, we can go literally periods of time without talking to each other, but without anyone being like, oh my gosh, you don't text me. We are not like that because maybe we are that close that we know that we don't need to speak every day to know that we are fine. But when we do speak like for periods of time, like hours and hours of ongoing chats. So
Yeah.
I would say through the small friends that I consider friends, they all know that like we don't need to chat every day, but when we do talk, we talk. And like if I really need something, if I really need to talk to you, I know you're there, and it's vice versa. It's just that I don't have that thing of like texting. I just don't have that thing of texting you every day for nothingness. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's better. So you with the close friends, you have an understanding. I think that's just
Yeah,
important,
the
you
close
know.
friends that I have are understanding. The ones are not close, they just feel like I don't like them when it's not even like that. It's not even like that.
Yeah, it's just you guys are not close. I see. I
Yeah.
see. There are two things I wanted to talk about. But first, let me go to the most important. Um, we were talking earlier, and you said that you are trying your best to put some time in to come up with your next project.
Hmm.
My first question is the previous project that you released was last November, right? You released,
Yes.
yeah, last November. That was an album or an EP?
I'm debating till today. I think it was an EP.
Really?
It's an album. I truly think I don't know maybe because I don't want to put so much importance of like, oh my gosh, it's an album. I'm like,
Uh,
no, it's an EP. I believe that I'm always gonna release EPs. I don't see myself doing full albums. It's a lot of it takes a lot of you to do albums. It's a lot of more scrutiny, and I'm like, no, no.
yeah.
I
But you
think
will do an album. I know you will. You will. You will do an album.
okay,
You will.
we'll
You
see.
will. I mean, you have to, and you will want to. Once you feel like you're comfortable with your sound and etc., you'll be like, bro, I'm ready for this shit, bro. Let me show these motherfuckers I'm the shit. Or you not that? How competitive are you when it comes? Are you like, no, I'm the best in this shit. Fuck all of y'all. Or are you like, no, we can all do it together. All that. Or you in the middle? How competitive are you?
I think I'm in the middle, but not really because to me it's like I'm just doing music that I would like to listen. I would personally like to listen to, and hopefully people will like it too. That's just how I am. I'm not in like even though I'm in such a I would say rapper mode environment because of the friends that also rap and
Yeah,
mostly
yeah,
hang rappers or singers that are male, they have this perspective like, this is what I need to do. I need to stand up in the game and, I need to go and get it. And for me, it's like, I like this beat. Let me put some sauce. Let me do this and that. And like, I'm just going with the flow. Yeah,
okay.
I don't have really that thing of like, oh my gosh. But maybe once I change environments, like if I do get the
Uh,
chance, like study abroad, and I see like how's the game there, I feel like maybe I'm gonna get into that competitive mode of like, yeah, this is harder
uh,
because I do understand of like me coming from Moz and I've been singing for so long. I do people here kind of know about me compared to me going to a country
yeah.
and I'm literally a nobody trying to be somebody. Here, at least I'm someone, you know? There, I'm nobody. And I'm like, how can I get out of the nobody zone to like, she's a somebody? People should listen.
Uh,
That will be even more complicated. And I do understand, but I still want to go and see what's out there and try it out. I believe in my
uh,
luck and skills.
uh, That's what's up. That's what's up, 100, bro. I believe in it too. So just so you know, in case you didn't know already, right, yeah, just so you know. So the next project that you're trying to your best of abilities to work on is also going to be an EP, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be an EP, and I'm trying to do this EP in Portuguese, which is even more hectic because
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to see other because I was working on a second EP that was in English, but I was like I stopped on that because I had to come back to Moz, and
Um,
like I've been talking to a lot of people, and they're like, "Why don't you try? Just try it out." So it'd be like more of a LP? No, LP is bigger. No, it's an EP. Yes, it's an EP. Oh, it'd be like an
yeah,
EP with like a couple of songs in Portuguese just to try and see the market here, how it would go, if it would grow, and see, yeah, and see what can happen. What can I do with this? Is it possible? I also want to test myself if I can actually pull this off and see if I can do it or not. Yeah. So this is more experimental phase, but it's going okay, even though the time thing that I'm not finding it's like literally being my only obstacle. I'm still gonna try slowly to get it done.
okay. Do you really know like what type of direction slash vibe slash sound are you gonna go for? Like the mood of the album, the topics, kinda, or the overview of it. You already have the direction, or you just like literally just. throwing paint at the board so far.
It's a junction of both. It's more of like, let me just record as much as I can, and let's say if I can record 10 songs, and then I'll choose the five best songs that make sense, like coherently, like sound wise, and like, okay,
Yeah.
I have like a EP, I have something that you can listen to. So more it's like, okay, I'm literally trying different vibes at the same time, and then I'll go through the selection process of like, I think this song goes with this one and this one, and we can build around it. But I know that the theme of this EP it's gonna be love, because that's all I sing about is love. I don't know how to sing about
Yeah.
something else. I don't know how to portray. I'm trying to be more positive in my music, because people say like always to like you like always talking about breakups and situations, because that's how I feel. I don't know. I can, yeah, I cannot pretend love that doesn't exist. I cannot be singing I love you, I want you, and whatever when there's no one to be wanting or loving.
That's what's up. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. But like, yeah,
Oh,
I'm taking it time day by day. I'm not really rushing. I'm just like, I just at before the pandemic, when I came back, no, actually, sorry, after the pandemic, when I came back, I felt this sense of being stuck, because I had such a very fast-paced life in Cape Town, with college, with going to castings and recording music and trying to go to open bars and like showcase my music. So like I'm always on the run of doing something, and then coming back here and literally just being home for the whole month. It it almost drove me crazy. It made me feel like, did I actually achieve anything in my life? Did I actually did anything? So I actually learned to like pace myself more and like give it time and not try to rush things or like always be on the go. Like just literally go day by day. If I cannot record today, I can record tomorrow or the next week. I'm not gonna die if I don't do this right now. When before I would get really anxious, that would contribute a lot to my anxiety, because I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing this now. I should be doing it. Oh, what am I gonna do now? So now it actually controlled my anxiety and be more calmer and not really be like, oh wow, I didn't do this. Now what the fuck? What do I do? So yeah, I'm grateful for that in this pandemic. Yes.
yeah, this pandemic has been crazy. I'm glad that you found that space where things are working out more on the emotional, slight spiritual side of things. You're giving yourself time to develop more or improve more in that area, whichever the expression is. That's beautiful, man. That's dope. How much do you think that is going to affect your music? Do you think your music is going to be different because you're in that space?
Um. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
I think so, because it will show that I'm evolving from what
yeah,
I was to who I'm becoming, but also I'm still open to new things. I'm not in this stuck idea of like, what is Tyra? What does Tyra do music wise? I always feel like I'm always open to branch out and do new things and things that people don't actually expect, but actually sounds good. And it's like, okay, it's worth a listen. So like, yeah, to me it's like this is just like a ride. I'm just going with what goes, and so far it's making sense.
that's good. That's right. That's good, man. That's beautiful. It seems like you don't put too much pressure. I mean, of course, you still want to have your music sound dope and being dope shit that you put out, but I don't feel like you put too much pressure on yourself, which is I envy a lot. I think like, do you put too much pressure on yourself from outside? I don't think so. Am I right or am I tripping?
No, I think that I do put a lot of pressure, because I'm like, like I was saying, like I get very anxious with everything, and for me it's like in Cape Town I have a mic to record anytime, any day, because I was with Milton. Now I don't
Yeah,
have anything. I literally have to schedule with friends to record this and that. So to me that it's like kind of a setback, because I don't have the equipment that I need to record right in front of me, and that would get
yeah,
me really pissed off. So, but I was like, well, I pressure myself on something that I literally can't control. I'm just gonna stress myself out, honestly. So I'm like, you know what? work with what you can. That's what I tell people, like work with what you can. Like before, I was like, oh, I cannot record if I don't have the right equipment. I learned how to use GarageBand with my mom's phone. The latest covers that have been
Yeah, totally
through a phone.
different. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like this doesn't really stop me completely from doing music. It's just a minor setback until I can get up on my feet, but I'm not gonna stop. Like I always try to find alternatives. Yeah.
all right. That's what's up. A little bit of a break. We're gonna have a little bit of a sponsor moment, even though it's not really a sponsorship because I'm not getting money out of this. It's just a friend's thing that I really want to support.
Hey,
As you probably heard on a previous episode, I really like to eat healthy and organic and not hurt the environment because this is the only planet Earth we have, and we got to take care of this. So just if you want the organic foods, organic organic produce, organic vegetables, no chemicals, no GMO shit from the earth, using the most organic products ever for you to have on your meal everyday life with your family to really enjoy that really organic taste of everything and live a long life. You can just, we don't have a website yet for it, but you can DM my great friend Muhammad on Instagram at Yusri79. That's YOUSRY 79, and he'll give you all those products that are organic and fresh as fuck. I've bought things from him for the past 2 months, and it really is fresh as fuck, and I feel healthier. I mean, yeah, I do feel healthier. That's not a lie. It's true. So do check that out. YOUSRI 79, Yusri 79. His name is Muhammad. Just DM me, telling you heard about this from the podcast, and you can get your organic fresh food. All right, that's what's up. Back to the podcast. All right, we back. I love doing those shits. I have to talk fast. I love talking fast. It excites me. But yeah, we are at the last 20 minutes of the podcast. Anything you want to talk about, you want to share in specific? If not, I got a lot of topics, but let me know. Do you want to talk about something specific or something that you have in your mind?
no, no. You can shoot me anything.
I can choose you anything. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go back to the topic that we were talking before because I've been getting kind of interested in this. I don't know why. It's weird because I was never a type of dude to be interested in this kind of shit. But the aliens are coming. I believe so. I believe in 2020 we're gonna have aliens. I really like, bruh, you don't understand how much I believe this. I literally pictured the aliens arriving maybe at my home because they watch my videos and they're like, who's this kid that made these videos on YouTube? They're gonna land here on my backyard. I'm gonna go outside. We're gonna communicate through our minds. We won't talk, but we'll be talking through our minds. It'll be crazy. Then I'll go into the spaceship and I'm gonna see there they have photos of everyone on Earth. Like I imagine some crazy shit about this aliens shit, bro. What's your stance? Are they coming in 2020 or later?
I was going to ask, why do you think they're gonna come now? I think they're already here with us. We just don't know.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep. That's deep. Damn.
Yes. Why?
That's deep.
Why do you think they're gonna come? Maybe they're gonna come like to show us that, oh, we've been here. We're just telling you that we've been here. But
Ooh.
I believe that because I don't know. The aliens topic with me, it goes like I'm quite biased with like, are it aliens or it spirits? I just put them together. If it's not a spirit, maybe it's an alien. So I'm like, maybe both.
Okay.
Well, maybe both are here or not.
That's interesting. Do you think aliens fuck with your music?
I think some might. I hope. Don't know what they like. They might like rock music. They might like gospel music. Maybe gospel music is their shit. You won't know for sure.
Imagine these motherfuckers. Imagine these motherfuckers arrive with a spaceship bumping your music. Yo, bro, that's so dope.
Yo, I feel like I accomplished everything I needed to accomplish in life. Cause like, yo, it's
Uh,
better to
that
feel
would be
aliens. You
dope.
know, you don't know their taste, so you're like, they're fucking with my music. Yes, that's good.
Yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope as fuck. But when we were talking about that, something pumped into my mind because I talked about them watching my YouTube videos. You're on YouTube now. You're on YouTube,
Yes,
right?
I'm trying to be on YouTube. It's been complicated. I'm trying
It's
to.
been complicated. complicated. I'll tell you something. I won't lie. I'm very honest.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what it is. I went on Instagram. I scrolled. I saw Tyler Gush. Oh, I'm gonna post a video. And I'm gonna open YouTube and post a video. I was like, oh, cool, dope. Then you posted the on your Instagram story a screenshot of your page. I'm a little competitive. I won't lie. A little, just a little. I went there. I saw you had like 300 subscribers and like 700 views on your first video. I was like, what the fuck is this? I've been doing this shit for like months. For months, I have 45 subscribers and zero views. What the fuck? I was like, bro, I'm not gonna share this. I literally said that. I was like, I am not gonna share this because I hate this so much. I'm filled with jealousy and envy and all the bad feelings that I could have this moment because it's not possible. In one day, you got like it's crazy. Like I don't
No,
understand. In
no,
one day, in one day,
it
and I've
was
been in this for months.
it
What the fuck
wasn't
is
like
this?
that. First of all, I already had a YouTube page since Kitab time, but I don't.
Nah, I'm pissed. I'm
Let me
pissed.
explain. Let me explain. Let me explain. I already had a YouTube page since Kitab time where I posted my first cover, me trying to sing Frank Ocean, thinking about you. And then that
Mm,
page, I only used to showcase the few performances that I got the chance to do here in Maputo. So it was just like that. It was never set to be a YouTube page. But then last year, I was like, maybe I should start a YouTube page. Like I have so many stuff, and like a lot of people used to tell me, maybe you should do YouTube page. Like I would literally watch your content, and I'm like, maybe I should consider. So through my music, I already had 150 subscribers because of my music solely. That's it. But now that
mm,
I started the YouTube page, it's when like okay, I'm getting more people because I'm doing things more personally. People are tuning more into my life and things that I do and stuff that I
mm,
do. So that's
mhm.
how what happened. It wasn't like day by night. Come on. But you also need to
I'm,
take into advantage I'm a girl, you know?
yeah, I'm pissed. That's all I know. I'm pissed. I saw that. I started fuming. I started fuming. I was like, this is not. This doesn't make sense. But it is what it is. Let's talk about also your your presence on the social media because as you said, now you're starting your YouTube channel. You feel like you can give a voice to many people that don't feel as comfortable in front of the camera or in front of the microphone and all that. And
Mhm.
yeah, over the last few years, I've seen that you've been vocal about many conversations that I think that need to be had. You talk about women's inequality, how unfair it is, different opportunities that men get but women don't. You've also talked about your social anxiety, being very open about that, and yeah, I just wanted to know what what quote unquote causes, I don't think that's the right word, but what pressing issues do you feel like you have to address, and why do you feel that way about them?
Maybe because since I was young, I always had a sense, always have justice and fight for equality on anything. It's just like what I truly believe in. At first, started as like body positivity because people I didn't even
Yeah,
know that I didn't even know that that is what I was transpiring to other people. I was just showing my work as a model, and then people started like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much for like representing me. Like I feel so much comfortable." And showing my body and putting myself out there that at first I was like I didn't even know that I was doing that. I was just like, oh, this is the work that I've done, for this brand,
yeah,
but then I was like starting to get more conscious that I was seeing that a lot of younger women would like go to my page and and like see and be aware of the things that I do. So that's when I felt like maybe I should use my platform to speak about certain things, to bring positivity, to shed light to things that I believe that it's the right thing to do. The fact that I'm always going to talk about inequality, I'm always going to talk about you accepting yourself, I'm always going to talk about how I feel with my anxiety because I feel like it's just me showcasing who I am and how I feel. It's not me specifically, okay, today we're going to talk about this. I just say that it's
yeah,
coincidentally, it falls under those labels of like, because when I talk to people, it's like, it's literally me just saying, like, I felt so anxious doing this, but I'm still doing it. I hope you guys like this song. I was scared to do this job because of this and that, and this happened during the casting. It's just me literally telling my experiences, and people can relate to that. And I'm glad that they do, because then it opens a conversation that people don't really have. For example, the my last post that I made about being black in Maputo, it was just a random conversation that I was having with a close friend of like, what are the things that you heard growing up as a black person in Maputo? And like that went viral. I was like, whoa, that went viral because it wasn't I wasn't trying to spark a discussion or a debate. I just wanted for people to tell me about their experiences. And for me, my experiences were always like people saying that I'm prettier, literally referring that I'm prettier because I'm lighter, because I have light eyes, family members telling me that I should marry a white guy because African men cheat a lot and they don't like polygamy. Um, being referred to, for example, my mom being from the north, that she's associated with witchcraft because women from there, they're no good. So I was just relating and compiling experiences that I heard and my friends heard. And then people started like literally adding on stuff in the comments. And then it sparked to a debate because people were trying to invalidate what other people experienced. It went crazy. That wasn't the real
Yeah.
intention, but it went there. And that's why I felt like I had to address on my third post about it and say that this was not to create a discussion. I just wanted to people to share their experiences and debate on it. And like, if you think that it's something that should be done or not, you tell me. I don't know. I just felt like we need to talk more about these topics. Maputo is a beautiful place to live in, one of the best places, I would say. But we cannot like turn a face and say that colorism doesn't exist, nepotism doesn't exist, corruption doesn't exist. We're gonna why lie? So that's just
Yeah.
me. So yeah, but my mom told me for me to be careful because she's very scared of like me turning things a little bit political or personal because she's like, don't make yourself a martyr. And I don't want to become a martyr, but I always will. I'll I'll always speak about things that I feel like it needs to be spoken. That's just who I am.
Did you always feel um, comfortable being that vulnerable? Because I'll tell you, as a guy, I'll go the route as a guy that grew up uh, learning the usual stereotypes of what a guy is, what a girl is, how a guy acts, how a guy doesn't act compared to
Mhm.
a woman and shit. Even when I love making videos, so I'm always making videos of something. But when making videos, I feel like authenticity and vulnerability, they win. It's clear. The statistics show, the data show, if you're authentic and vulnerable, you will win because people will relate the most and it will be like really a personal interaction. I know that logically, but
Mhm.
whenever I'm in front of the camera, I can't get myself to get that vulnerable. Like I try to like touch my toes in the water, but then I always back up and I just keep it safe. Being authentic, that's a little easier, but the vulnerability part, I don't know. I can go in front of the camera today and be like, yo, let me be vulnerable about this, but I won't be able to do that. I don't know why.
Maybe
So
because
have
you're
you
not
always
ready
been
yet.
comfortable?
Maybe
What?
maybe because you're not ready yet. I feel like it's something that you cannot force. It just comes to you. Some people have it right there. I feel like me, like I'm always, if people tell me a story that's touching, I'm gonna be crying even I don't want to cry. But that's just how I am, and people gonna be like, this is nothing, because people are not the same. Our IQs, EQs are definitely not the same, and I
Yeah.
feel like, for example, I'm more empath to people's stories and what they go through, while others don't really feel that emotion or don't really understand what the person goes through. They're more cold about it. They're more factual and logical of like things have to go the certain way. If they don't go the certain way, then it's wrong. When I'm always trying to see all the possibilities of what's going on. And that's just how people are. That's just how people are. So maybe because maybe right now you're not comfortable enough in showing that vulnerability, but if you're doing the works to get there, you'll eventually get there. You eventually understand what makes you vulnerable, what is making you not be vulnerable. It's a process. It's not going to be day by night, I would say.
Mm. But what you said is that for you it was always innate, just as a personality or character trait. For you, you've always been like that, being comfortable with vulnerability, right? Or was that not the case?
Sorry, I didn't quite hear the last part.
Yeah, I was asking. For you, was that the case? Did you have that process of getting yourself to be comfortable with vulnerability, or was it something that you just it's been innate in your character traits or personality traits, being allowing yourself to be that vulnerable?
I think it's an innate because for me, like for me to I've always, every time that I tell anything to anyone, I always try to make them understand how things went down. Like for you to understand how it made me feel. Or when someone tells me something, I always try to put myself in their shoes to understand how it make them feel. Even though no one can really understand how people affect emotions of the others, but you are
Yeah.
aware how it can affect. So even I don't truly understand what you went through, I empathize. I I under not say understand, but I would say that I'm aware of what you went through. So yeah, that's I always put myself out there like that. I always try to explain to you to make sense to you that like if this happened to you, would you feel the same? Would you feel differently? Because also it's something that I also do. I always think, and I feel like it's kind of wrong of me. I expect that people would act the same as me in certain situations, and most people don't. And that's when you like that's when you create really high expectations of people. And I realized growing up, still growing up, that I shouldn't create expectations of anyone so I don't get surprised because we are not the same. Just because I do something, I expect you to do the same. No, you might do it in a completely different way or even better way than I did. And I have to be respectful of that. So yeah, I feel like it's something that it's always in me.
And how I'm thinking like um okay, you always try to put yourself in the person's situation and really understand how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
Um if I come to you, if anyone comes to you and they have this story they want you to be aware of, they want your support, they want you to give a landing shoulder, a crying shoulder for you to listen to them and be there for them. How overwhelming is it for you to receive those emotions? And at what point do you put a boundary? Like, yo, bro, I don't want to feel everything that you're feeling, so I'm not gonna go that deep with you. And like, when do you put the boundary? When do you feel it all? How overwhelming is it? How do you balance it? How do you keep yourself sane while also trying to understand other people's emotions? So, how's that balance?
This is you actually asked like this is a really great question because the thing is the fact that I'm vulnerable to people doesn't mean that I'm open because it's hard for me to like have close friendships. It's actually hard for me to really and truly open up to someone because it's hard for me to trust people. So when people come to me, people like a stranger comes to me and they're telling me that story, I'm still like at first I try to understand why is this person telling me that this story in the first place? We don't know each other, but okay, if I understand of what they're talking about, I'm going to give my support to the best of my ability. If it's something that I don't know how to help you at all, I'm gonna I'm gonna try to empathize and tell you what I know and like suggest maybe you should find a better person to give you better advice because I don't want to put you in a straight path that it's not correct. Like for example, I had recently this girl that came to me and she was having really serious problems with her mom. Her mom wanted to kick her out, and I've never been in a situation like that. So how do I advise someone that like how do I do that? So I was really like confused and I was really like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I really want to help this girl, but I don't know how to. And I told her like, I don't think I'm the best person to because she was telling me about the story and she was having very like suicidal thoughts. And I was trying to help her to the best of my ability and trying to be there for her. But I told her I think that you should look for Evituia Depressão, that it's like this company, this project group of people that help people with like mental issues, suicidal thoughts, like people in the youth that are having problems in their family. So I'm like, I feel like you should reach out to them. They're gonna be more of help. But just know that I'm here for you. If you want to talk to me, you can come and talk to me. Have you tried to talk to your mom? Have you tried to talk to your family about the situation? Talk to someone. So that's how I try to help to the best of my ability. But I'll something that I don't know, I'm not gonna try to be your therapist because I'm not. I'm gonna tell you, I really don't know how can I help you, but this is what I know and this is who I think could help you. That's what I do.
Okay. All right. That's that's very noble of you. I know some people that would just be like, bro, just fuck off. Shit. So
There's some people just gonna be
um,
like, I don't know how to help you. Like, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not that I don't want to help. I also don't know how to help. And I really don't know how
yeah,
to help anyone. I just give my input, take it or leave it, but this is what I think. And I always try to push you to certified people that can actually give you some real logical advice because I'm human too. I'm bound to make mistakes. I'm not perfect. And don't take my words for like this is right or wrong. Always try to find like a second opinion. But thank you for coming to me, even though I don't even consider myself like someone that you can like ask for advice. But yeah, I'm here for you. I'll try to be here for you.
yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I think there's a perfect point for us to end this conversation. You just saw how much of a warm heart this young lady here has. I think great things are coming to her future in the following years. I think that the aliens will really make a track list and include her songs when they
The
arrive on Earth.
aliens
I
are
mean, they can't be
here.
already.
The aliens are already here. Eh.
Yeah, they are already here. They are already bumping your songs at this moment as we talk. They're already dancing to your tunes, and they speak all languages. So they're waiting for the Portuguese EP too, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to make this. We tried to arrange this since last week, and last week it was not possible, but we finally were able to make it happen, and it was worth it every single second of it. There's a lot of wisdom, a lot of vulnerability, a lot of empathy, a lot of just straight like telling what your experience has been, and I really know people will relate. So a lot of what you're saying, they will benefit from this. So thank you once again. Thank you for taking
Thank you
this
for
hour to
having me.
make this happen. This is amazing. I can't wait to upload this because I this was dope. This was dope. As usual, I don't know what to expect when I go on this podcast. I'm like, bro, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen with this shit, bro. But let's just do it. And I'll say, it was. I'm happy. I'm happy. I could have never thought that it would go this way, and it was amazing. I'm blessed and grateful for your existence, first on earth, and second for taking your time for this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And like, I can't wait till it's out. And it was nice catching up also.
All right, that was up. Now I'm gonna hit stop on this shit, and then we continue rolling for like 2 minutes just for us to properly say bye without these people listening to. Fucking nosy people. But yeah, thank you for listening, listener. Now you're listening, and we've come to the end of this. If you enjoyed, please just fucking live with it. If you like it's the end. It's the end. Peace. Bye. See you next time. Have a good one. And that's what's up. 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 That's what's up.